Okay, guys, I think we're probably just going to go ahead and jump into it. Can you guys hear me now? You guys good now? You guys hear me? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and switch over and get the stream started. Okay. Yeah. Let's yeah. Let me go ahead and switch over on my OBS real quick, guys. Sorry about this. I don't know what got all jacked up, but anyway, we will do it like this time, I guess. Yeah. All right. Hopefully everything's okay now. Everybody let me know. Is everything okay? Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm just gonna hop on here real quick, give you guys an update on what's going on. I seen something up here said what would they say? Turn comments on or something? You should turn on the comments. I got comments turned on, guys. I don't have the comments shut off, but on a couple of the videos because it was too crazy. But yeah. Just so everybody knows. So yeah. I'm doing okay, Sharon. How you guys doing? First thing I'm going to talk about, guys, real quick before we move on, is if you look at my tagged comment there in the chat, you can see that I started a TikTok, and I think this is going to be the best way for me to give you guys short, to the point updates even throughout the day. Love back at you, Ricky and E-Rock. Good to see everybody. Alien, what's happening? May, what's up? Alien, what's happening? Karen, Debbie. Anyway, so please go over and sub up to my, follow me on TikTok. I got a couple, 3 videos up there now, and they're a minute or less. So what I'm going to do is throughout the day, if anything happens, I'll pop on there and just drop it. I'm still going to do my YouTube thing, guys. Okay. I'm not saying that at all. So, that's what I would say, right? Hey, what's up, Axe? What's up, George? No Red, what's happening? Russ? But I just wanted to, that's going to give people an avenue to be able to go to that can just get the data if they want to see just pure data. Plus, if something happens throughout the day, it's real easy to record a 1-minute video and post it on TikTok. It doesn't take hardly anything, hardly any time. So there's my TikTok link. If you guys want to go over there and follow me over there, I'm going to be I posted like 3 videos there now. It's going to become very, very consistent. I'm going to do it every day, probably 2 or 3 times, possibly, just depending on what's going on. If we have a big event, obviously I will post it on TikTok, and sometimes I'll probably bring it to YouTube also. I'm still going to do my live streams from, every other day, every third day or something like that. But I want to give people the opportunity to still see the data when things are happening and just kind of keep up to date. I feel like we kind of lose that when we go 3, 4, 5 days between a video, and I don't like doing that to people. So I don't have to take time a lot for my family to do the TikTok thing. I can do that when I'm on the road. I can do it on my phone. So that's kind of what I'm saying. So I hope you guys really do consider going over there and following me over there. It will be a real easy way. Actually, this is my TikTok page right here. Obviously there's like 3 videos here. Again, I just now started it. So if you guys want to go check me out over there, it'd be great. My daughter, actually, guys, man, I'm so proud of her. She started one on her own. She does, well, I guess I can just show it to you. She does these diamond paintings. And she's got one that's of Titanic. It's down here. Where is it at? Down here somewhere. But she did this on her own. I had nothing to do with it whatsoever. And until just the other day, but she's got 110,000 views on this one. It's pretty cool stuff. It's interesting anyway to watch. These are neat things. They're actually pretty, and you can, put them in, frames and hang them on the wall and stuff. And you can get custom ones too. But what she does is she just shows everybody what's happening there, right? How to do it. And, showing her way that she does it and things like that. So you guys could, if you guys want to go over and check her out too, that'd be great. You could help her out by doing that. You'd be doing me a favor by helping her out by doing that. She's, she stays consistently making these videos. Again, they're only a minute or less long. And I think that's a great thing especially for what I'm doing. Yeah. So anyway, let's move on to the information. Okay. So this is disclosure news. All right. Obviously, well, let's just go here first. This is today. Now notice this is the Schumann, obviously, and people, if you don't know what the Schumann is, I would strongly suggest going over to Verte Arbuoto's channel. Me and him's probably going to be getting together and doing a show here in the next week or so. I'm going to have Verte on my show, and he's going to help explain things to you guys about what we're actually looking at here and what this tool is showing you. So I'm going to ask him a few questions, and I would suggest he's in my description anyway. And I push him out there quite a bit because, in my opinion, he's an expert on this thing. He's studied it for over 30 years, and he just simply knows what he's talking about when it comes to this. Guys, I can give you the basics, and yes, this thing can make you sick. There's too many studies. What this is it's the frequency that's bouncing around between the Earth's surface and our ionosphere. And it has a direct effect on our biology, on our brains. They pump this into the space station. 7.83 hertz is what they do. That's what our bodies require, our minds, to, I guess, quote unquote, be at normal level or be normal. And so with that being said, when these things are spiking like this, it can make us sick. It can give us ringing in our ears. Cardiologists are now taking this very seriously. It affects our heart rates. It affects the way that we just operate, our blood pressures. If you go without this for an extended period of time, people go crazy. They used to call it space sickness, but this is why. People have died from this. It's just what happens. So, this is an important thing to show you guys. And this is actually kind of a pretty decent event because not only is this spiking right now, this is the 6th day in a row. So, yeah. Mike and Cindy over Evolutionary Energy Arts, they talk about this quite a bit too. You guys should go check them out also. Again, there's quite a few people out here that talk about the Schumann. Those are just the two that I usually send people to and have for a long time. Verte and Mike and Cindy. And that over Evolutionary Energy Arts. So please go check them out too if you get a chance. But again, 6 days in a row. This started back on like the 30th of April. And I think I took screenshots. I don't know if I'm going to, well, what we'll do is we'll go over, this is the other site. Remember, this is a local tool, and this is in Tomsk, Russia. So you have to take in consideration where the sun's at, what day side of the earth is when these spikes are showing up on this tool. Okay? So this, if you live in the States, we're actually on the dark side of the planet when this is facing the sun, where this tool is. So you got to kind of know where you're at daytime wise. Now, just because they're having events over here doesn't necessarily mean that we're having stuff over here, where we're at, or where most of us are at, or where you're at. If you look here, let me click on that. You can go down here, and if you see this is UTC down here. Okay, and they've got 2 different time zones there, and you can see it. Now, what you're looking at the top, that is Russia. That's where, hey, what's up, Russell? That's where the tool is located. That's their local time. So if you go down here, this is UTC, and I find it easier to go off of UTC because I'm in the Eastern time zone, and all I have to do is add like 4 hours to it. So I know exactly where I'm at when I look at that. So if I come over here and I see the white, because typically I show you guys this tool, right? This one. So if I add 4 hours to this, that's I think it's 4.5 hours, I think, where I'm at, something like that. That gives me a rough estimate. So if you want to figure out how far you are away from UTC time, this is their local time though, I think, on this tool. Let me check real quick. Yeah, that's their local time. So you can't, that's not UTC, which is why you have to come over here, or you can figure out your time zone, what it is different from where they're at. But what I'm saying is, if you come over here, you get UTC provided for you. So this is disclosure news. I don't really know a whole lot about their website here as far as the information that they're giving, but I do know it's a good place to come to look at the tools. And there's reasons for that. The reasons for that is, they give you these things too. Amplitude, quality, frequency, max, frequency, min. And once you become knowledgeable about what you're looking at here, you'll be able to understand why they do that. Whether that's accurate, I really don't know, just to be honest with you. But you can go down here and they'll give you strips. You see these? This is the last 3 days in May. May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So there's 1, 2, 3 days in a row. And if you go up here, 4 or 5. And if we go back another day into the other month, which I'm going to show you right now, you can do right here. If you go down here, Schumann Resonance Today Archived Images. You click on that, and it's going to bring you to here. So what you can do, you can go back as far as you want, as far as they've been documenting. And you can look at stuff that's, they've even got this, which I think is cool. Schumann Resonance strips or stripes, however you want to put that. You click on that, and it's going to take you to a place here that, did it or did it not? It didn't. Hold on. Let me click on that again. There it is. Okay? And you're going to get this. So you'll be able to go back in the history of this in the archives and look at a big, broad picture of what happened. However far back you want to go. All right? So I really hope that people go over here and check this out, because you can look at this and really learn a lot from it. And that's why I'm taking the time to show you guys this, because this right here is archived data. And anytime we can get anything like that to be able to compare, and you're going to notice that as the months progress, you're going to see that these things, it's become more and more consistently active. If you go back like a good while, you're going to see this thing not really showing a whole lot. But also you'll be able to compare month to month from year to year, like November 2020 to November 2021, once we get there. And you're going to find that typically there's going to be like a peak season in this. And a lot of that has to do with space weather. Because we do get more space weather depending on what part of the seasons we are in. So anyway, I am going to go ahead and just click off of that. But I just want to show you guys those spikes again, because it's still happening every day. Now, I cannot verify one way or the other if it is something local there where the tool is at. I haven't been able to see or see any kind of data to show me one way or the other, because their local weather can actually affect this. But being at 6 days in a row, this is something that's probably happening globally, okay? Because typically if it's just like a thunderstorm or a snow event or something like that that messes with their tool, it's only a day or two, not 6 days in a row. And roughly at the same time every day. If you guys go back and look at those last 6 days, that's what you're going to see. Okay, so I am going to put the chat away, guys, so please be nice to the mods in there. Mods, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. Guys, again, just be adults. That's all I can say anymore really about that. Please don't talk negatively about any other channel, whether I like them or not. That's really the biggest thing. And don't attack each other. Okay, personally, challenge each other as far as ideas, but just don't be attacking each other personally. Don't call somebody ugly, fat, whatever, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So anyway, I trust my mods, so I'm going to put that away. So as you can see here, this is NOAA, and, we've had an eruption on the sun, and I'm just going to make it real quick here, that, this was off the limb, but it doesn't mean we're not going to catch something from it, and I'll show you here in just a second. One thing I do want to point out, our geomagnetic activity is low right now. That just simply means that we haven't had too much geomagnetism fired at Earth. We haven't had any big, huge coronal holes. We haven't had, flares or any kind of CME action hitting us. So right now, conditions are actually low enough that if it continues to be really, really low like this, we will be at risk for cosmic rays. Now, cosmic rays can make you sick. It just depends on how much you're exposed to. It's basically like radiation, okay? At a very basic level, I'm not going to go into a big detailed explanation of what it is, but if you're flying, especially towards the North or South Pole, long distances, the higher you fly, the more that the cosmic rays affect you, or just space weather in general. Okay, you think about it, you're closer to space when you're up 35,000 feet. So you don't have the rest of that atmosphere to kind of filter out or absorb those kinds of radiations. And that's that's another point too. We're now seeing UVC on the surface of the planet. That was never thought to be possible till like a year ago when we started seeing it. Almost 2 years ago now, I think. Unless it was from an artificial source. Okay, like welding. People that weld, they know that they're going to see some of that UVC, so they have to, put the protective gear on, or they get what we call welder's burn. That's exactly what UVC is, guys. And we don't have any kind of creams or sunscreen or anything like that to protect us from that. Only thing you can do is put clothes on. You got to cover your skin. Use an umbrella if you have to. If you're out in the intense part of the day, use an umbrella. There's no shame to my game. I don't care if it's got flowers, polka dots, fairies, or whatever on it. If it's going to help protect me, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? But we've had that big eruption, and I think that's on the sun, and I think that's what this little spike is. Okay, because it happened about the same time there. So that's what it is. But let me show that to you before we go any further. It was on my thumbnail here, and it's right here. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in, and what you're going to see, and I'll show it to you in the other angstroms too, because you're going to see it. It really flicks around this direction, almost around the limb, like some of it could possibly come our way. Now, I'm not going to say that it is, because I just simply don't know yet. None of the tools have updated enough to give me any kind of thing conclusive. But actually, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more, just so you guys get a really good look at this, because this is a very powerful one, I think. It looks to be, okay? I can't give you any kind of numbers on it or anything, but it looks to be pretty powerful, and it's over here on the eastern limb of the sun. Remember, when we're talking about looking at the sun from our view, eastern is actually to your left. It's actually reversed from what we're used to doing, like here, like when we're looking at a map. So when I say eastern limb, I mean the left side, which is usually why I say left side. That's why I don't use the east-west limb thing. But this is from our perspective, and if we go forward, okay, there's the first little one. I don't even want to call it little. That was pretty decent itself. And then we get the second one that was much bigger. At least it looks to be. Let me get there to it. I'm trying to do it slow so you guys can see it. It's starting to erupt right there. Okay. Actually, well, just a second. Okay. Here we go. Guys, that's plasma leaving the sun. Wham. Okay. And then, the little jerk. I don't know what that was from. That was probably just space weather hitting the satellite. Most likely. There's the big one. Okay, so I'm going to slow it down. Look at that. Actually, I'm going to bring up the chat. What do you guys think about that one? Okay, so that is pretty substantial in my opinion. Oops. Let me do this again so I can sorry about that, guys. I need to get the zoom back in the right way so I can have control over the slider. So again, it's right there. And this is a substantial one, guys. And it just happened just a few minutes ago. Well, a few hours ago. That was the first little eruption. And then you see that little jolt on the satellite. And then you get the bigger one. Okay? See that? And then it was so powerful that it almost circled. It didn't really circle back around. But there was enough disruption there that you got a secondary explosion. Like right there. I'm going to back that up some more. Okay? So you see how all that, and one thing I want to point out, okay? You see that right there. Now watch what happens right here. You know, a lot of that left the sun. We've seen it escape the sun. But watch all this. Not all of it left. The sun recaptured quite a bit of this. So watch when I go forward. Watch it like go backwards. See it? Why does it do that? Okay? Well, let me tell you why. Because what you're seeing there is you're seeing plasma, which is charged gas, following a magnetic connection line. Okay, it has a charge. So even though the power was there to blow that out, I mean, you can see that's big. Okay, and I'm not sure if it was a flare because we didn't see much X-ray, but it was on the backside. Okay, it's not, and I'll show it to you again. It's around the edge of the limb. Okay, so the sun is kind of blocking some of it from us, but it does give us the appearance that it could have been a flare. I haven't really looked at Stereo A's view yet, so I'm just kind of giving you the right here. Regardless, plasma left the sun here. I can't tell you if it was exactly a flare or a CME or both. It was at least a CME of some sort. It does look to have like a flare signature right there. But we still, with it being that bright, typically even when we see it that bright, we'll see more X-ray hit us. We've seen a little bit, but it wasn't a bunch. But again, like I said, I'm not going to say it's a flare or a CME yet. I just simply don't know. So yeah, I mean, look at that. That is impressive. And in my opinion, if that was directly facing Earth, I would have to say that this is probably one of the biggest ones we've seen so far this sun cycle, if not the biggest. Okay, that's an impressive eruption. At least from the ones that we could actually monitor that weren't completely on the backside. Okay, but do you see how that's all going backwards there? I just think that's neat because, and that's not gravity, guys, doing that. Gravity might have a little something to do with that, but most of that's because that's charged gas going back, plasma following that magnetic connection line back to the sun. That's how that works. When we talk about solar rain, it's the same thing. You see the arc filaments here that we see? That's a magnetic connection line. And a lot of times we'll see solar rain coming down off of those because other lines start connecting and it just looks like rain, like fire rain. So this is substantial. So what we can do is we can look at it on a different view, a different angstrom, I should say. And this is the 171. What I just showed you guys was 304, just for clarification, for people that don't know. And notice that we don't even see it here yet. That's because it was off the side. All right. So we had a eruption here, like just a few hours before the bigger one. You see that little one pop off there? Watch. So this sunspot right here, and I'm going to call it a sunspot. It ain't named yet because it ain't facing us. But it looks to be like this could be pretty active. Okay, there's the bigger one. Notice that this is the difference in views. Okay, this is why I show you different views. Because this really, which one's more impressive, I don't know. It's up to opinions there. But you can see how that's leaving the sun. And what's curious about this one is you can actually see it ripple across this part of the sun facing us. So that's what's got me thinking that we may catch a glancing blow. One thing I can confidently tell you guys, we're not going to take a direct hit from this, okay? because simply the sun itself is blocking that from happening. Even if it was fired our direction, a lot of it would have been hitting the sun. So, just so you know. Hey, Wolfie, what's up? IG, what's happening? Carolyn, Pam, Ver, what's happening, guys? So, yeah. So, you got that going on right there, right? It's definitely something that, like I said, guys, it's nothing to worry about. And it's nothing to be, like, freaking out about. But this is a significant event right here. And this is like the third time so far this sun cycle we've had bigger ones pop right here on this part of the sun, just off of the limb. That means we've been dodging bullets. Okay? I mean, seriously, thanks for dropping that TikTok link there, Axe. Appreciate that, bud. Hey, Ricky, what's up? I think I said hi to you already, but hi again. But, guys, eventually, and I've said this 1,000 times, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Okay, we're going to catch a big flare or CME or both one of these days. The biggest class flares that we see happen about 3 times every 11 years. Okay, now whether they're fired at Earth or not, you know, we can only dodge that bullet so many times. And that's kind of what I'm saying here. And that's why we talk about this. This is why this is important. Because when this thing does eventually come our direction, we're going to have a total different conversation. Totally different conversation. So, really, Sharon. Wow. Hey, Daniel, what's up? So, yeah, I mean, that's just, you know, I can't show it enough because, you know, when you see these little bright, like, looks to be eruptions or little, like, I don't know, little balls of charged gas, which is plasma, that are real bright, you know that was substantial, okay? When you see that, and then when you see it just open up and then continue to erupt like that, this area, this active area, whether it gets a named sunspot or not, we're going to have to watch it because it's rotating our way. Eventually, it's going to be here. Eventually, it's going to be here. Is it going to be coming at us? I don't know. You know, hopefully it'll stable out before it does, but you never know. We just don't know. But like I said, what I do know is the statistics on how often these things happen. And that's why I say it's a matter of if and not it's a matter of when, not a matter of if. It will happen eventually. And most likely sooner than later. I'm not saying like, catastrophic sooner than later. I'm just saying we're going to get hit with some big ones. It's just that simple. So if we want to look at the rest of the sun, you actually can see it erupting over here a little bit. Not much, but there's a little action going on there. And there was a little puff right here that I noticed. Now, whether or not any of that left the sun, I can't say. But it did look like it had a little, see that? Watch my arrow right here. See that? Now, that's right in front of us if that happened, but it wouldn't be much of anything to be worried about, okay? I'm just showing it to you because it's there. But, did you see? Okay, there was the big one again. Okay, you see what I mean about how it's flicking this way? So, these things sometimes have the ability, because of the angle and the way these filaments flip out like that, they can sometimes make it around the limb and come our direction a little bit. So, yeah, so this whole area up here is really, being affected. So, and a lot of times when we see these big ones like this, it'll destabilize other areas of the sun. It'll ripple, that energy will ripple across the sun. And if there's any other thing like this sunspot here, it's not a named sunspot. Active area would be a better name for it. If that was to disrupt this area, it could actually cause this to flare. And any other things that can be happening. We have some filaments down here. It's hard to see on this angstrom. I'll show it to you here on the 304. You see these dark areas? Down through here? They're kind of hard to see, and I get it. I really do. Because I know sometimes I struggle to even see them. But there'll be little shadow-looking areas on the 304. And believe it or not, this is the best view you can get to look at filaments. The other angstroms don't usually show them all that well. The biggest one we can see right here, if you follow my arrow, you see that, how it goes to the sun? And it's hard to tell because the angle, the sun itself is actually camouflaging it. So, I mean, it's one of those things that you really have to rely on the tool to look at. But we've seen these, and this down here started stabilizing. These here look like they could have been erupting at any time. They don't no longer look like that. They look like they've kind of stabilized a little bit. So, but what I'm saying is, with those kinds of eruptions, it can destabilize the whole sun. It's done it before. Hey, Anna, what's up? So, yeah. Yeah. So here's seeds. Now, again, remember, this isn't going to show you the big one. Because what you're seeing there, that's a slow eruption, and I showed that to you. Now, right there at the end is where you see the big one starting to happen. Because this is on the... I'll try to stop it. Okay, right here at the last few images, you'll see it get bright right in here. Remember, the surface of the sun is here. This is the black occulter that blocks the main light so we can get a capture at all. See this circle here? That's supposed to represent the surface of the sun, or roughly thereof. Okay? So that you got to count that distance in there. See how it got bright right there? That's most likely that bigger eruption. Okay, because this is the one that happened earlier. I believe. Let me double check that. I want to check the time on this. Should have already done that, but yeah, that's what I thought. I checked it earlier. I just wanted to make sure I was correct. See the timestamp, 23, 22, something like that? And that's when we start seeing it here. Watch. See it? How it got all bright? This is going to be interesting to see once time goes on here, what we see here. Because this is, yeah, it's I'm just interested to see it. I can't wait to see it, actually. And then here's stereo A. It's our view from the side. And this is how I can, other than showing you SDO, I can definitively tell you this is not coming directly at us. Because of this. The satellite's here, Earth is over here, and the biggest explosion is actually blowing that way. So, but like I said, it did flick out, almost like a whip. But I can't tell you if any of it's even going to affect us. With us getting a glancing blow, I still don't think it would be that big of a deal. But if we take a direct hit from something like that, we would definitely see some geomagnetic activity. Okay? So that's what you're looking at there. And I don't even know that. Let me back that up some more. See, SS 2253. Remember, the surface of the sun's here. I'm not even sure this is the biggest explosion yet. The biggest eruption. I'm not going to, because this is stereo A, and again, I can't tell you for sure. So I'm not going to sit here and claim that. What I can say, that particular eruption started around 1700, and I can tell you for sure that this did not. See, right around 1700, watch what happens here. See that little first initial, see that? Up here? That's probably that one. Or I guess we could have one up here. Maybe. It's hard to say, okay? But regardless, what we're seeing on those satellites right there on Stereo A and LASCO C2, which is on the SOHO Observatory, I don't think it's showing us a very good image of that yet. I don't think it's able to because the occulter's in the way. I'm just out here ahead of it. Hey, Rip, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Guys, if you don't know who Rip is, go follow him on YouTube. He will definitely give you some great preparedness stuff. It's awesome. I watch his videos every day whenever he posts. He's a go-to for me when it comes to that kind of stuff. Along with Ron from Emergency Management. He's the guy I look at for earthquake stuff. And again, you guys want some positivity. You want to get away from all this BS that we have to deal with. Go over to Mark Pires, Renaissance Man. I mention him every day. He's a very good friend of mine. And I would really encourage everybody to go over there. That's where I'm heading after this, just so everybody knows. Anyway, this is the NASA prediction model, forecasting model for CME detection. And what you're seeing here is not that, okay? Not the big one. So give you, this is Earth, this is the sun. So this might have been that one little one, not sure. You can check up here, but this hasn't updated. Like I said, I'm out here way in front of this. And I don't typically do that, but I hadn't made a video in a minute, so I figured I'd give you guys a video. And I wanted to let everybody know about my TikTok, because that's where I'm going to be posting a lot of just the one minute updates. And I'm going to show you how this thing progresses throughout the day. It's really easy to post over there. Now, like I said, guys, let me reiterate. I'm still doing everything here, okay? It's not going to change anything here. It's just going to be, I'm going to be uploading on TikTok too. That's all it is. One thing it does do, it keeps me from being a squirrel. Thanks, Carolyn, for dropping Mark's link in there. Yeah. You guys see how I am right now. I'm talking to you guys instead of doing the doing the data. I have an issue with that. I really do. I get it, guys. Some people get mad at me, and I get it. I don't mean to upset people that way, but I like to connect with you guys when I have a chance to talk to you. But nothing much is going on, guys, right now as far as geomagnetically here on our planet. I'm not seeing a whole lot other than the Schumann stuff. The Schumann thing is really kind of, I'm not really sure what's going on with that. So I'm not seeing a whole lot of compression or anything like that around our planet right now, which is evident by this. This is pressure. Okay, this is light. This is not any kind of massive kinds of pressure that would compress us enough to affect the resonance like that. And remember, we have to keep in mind that this is a local tool. It's in Russia. So if it was compressed all the time, it would be nothing but, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's directional, as this is facing the sun when this is happening. So it's probably getting extra space weather as this is facing the sun. And that's probably why we're seeing these spikes. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying that that's a fact. It's just an opinion. Here's the space weather's effect on our electrical grid. You can see that not much is going on here because, again, I keep going back to this. We are extremely low geomagnetically. Again, if that continues for 12 to 24 hours at zero, they'll issue a cosmic ray alert. Cosmic rays are nothing to mess with, just so you know. Now, you guys know I talk about noctilucent clouds. What are noctilucent clouds? Well, it's simply moisture that freezes around meteor dust that's hanging around high in the atmosphere around the poles. Okay? So they happen in the summertime, believe it or not, of each hemisphere, northern and southern hemisphere. Why is that? Well, because there's more moisture. There has to be moisture to get up that high to freeze around the meteor dust. Now that's what they tell us is how these things are formed. I have no reason to doubt that, but whatever. I think that's probably what we're seeing because one thing I will say, remember, they were 2 weeks late this year in the southern hemisphere. And we're waiting on them to show up now in the northern hemisphere. And now they're not like overdue right now, but they should be coming very, very shortly. So if they're not, we'll be having another discussion about this if they're late again. So again, we'll just wait on that. Meteors from Halley's Comet. Earth is entering a stream of debris. We're passing through the tail of Halley's Comet, or the debris left from when Halley's Comet was here. Okay, this happens every year. We see it every year, so people don't, I don't want people freaking out because it is a expected meteor shower. 5th and 6th, 10 to 20 meteors per hour. 10 in the northern hemisphere, 20 in the south. Best time to look is during the hours before local sunrise, with the constellation Aquarius is high in the sky. That's the best time to look. Okay? If you guys want to check that out, I would definitely do so. Spaceweather.com, guys. Please go check them out. They do a really good job over here, in my opinion. They're explaining noctilucent clouds here, too, guys. So if you're wondering how those things are formed and what causes them and compared to other years and such, it's usually temperature that is the biggest factor. Because, obviously there's got to be water or vapor in the air to get that high. And then the temperature has to be right for it to freeze around the meteor dust. They're really high up, just so everybody knows. Now, this here is near-Earth objects, and what you're seeing here is lunar distance between us and the moon. This is how close they came. Now, I can tell you this one here on May 4th that happened. Yeah, I know, May the 4th be with you. Oh, man, yeah. Hey, Knowledge, what's up? But yeah, we had one come with 0.4. Now, that was reported late. Now, I want to say something here about that. We can't freak out when we see stuff like that. It's going to happen. It happens all the time. We cannot see the whole sky at all times. So, and what you're going to find if you guys start monitoring this thing like I do, you're going to find that typically when they don't see one until it's like way late, it's not very big. And this one was not. It was 12 meters in diameter, which is not very big. And it wasn't moving all that fast. 10.2. So even if that was to come into our atmosphere, it most likely would not even make it to the ground. Okay? So that's what I'm saying. So we got to keep it in perspective. I see so many times people, oh my gosh, they missed this one, or they missed that one, or they missed this one. I mean, come on, guys. Like I said, Billy Bob Thornton said it the right way in the movie Armageddon. He said, begging your pardon, Mr. President, it's a big-ass sky. I mean, and think about that for a second. But they show you here, fireballs reported. That number 29 is kind of normal. We've seen it a lot lower, but I've seen that hit over 200 before. Okay? So don't think that this is all crazy either, because it's not. That's just something that, it's probably been happening since the dawn of time, is what I'm trying to say. That number. Now, granted, if this thing starts hitting 300 and 400, we're going to be having another conversation. But when we know we're getting ready to pass through a meteor shower, like the tail of Halley's Comet, this number is going to increase. It's just that simple. There's more rocks in this part of the sun, in this part of space. That's what that means. So it doesn't mean that any kind of catastrophe is happening or anything like that. Again, it was only 12 meters. That's the one that they missed. Now, the other ones here, you can go down through here and look. There was one here that was added to, a 0.7. And if you guys want to go back and look, like the other dates, they leave these the same. They don't, change them. So if you go up here to the top at spaceweather.com and you just simply change the date, you can see what that graph showed you back on the 3rd. Or whatever date you pick. See? So if we look down through here, see May 4th, that one was not there. We don't see a 0.7 anywhere here. So those two were missed. That's all that means. Okay? That's how you check it. Also, something I want to point out too, this is something I've never talked about, but I'm not sure you guys didn't know this or not, but there's such thing as a black aurora. If you guys want to go over here, again, spaceweather.com and check this out. They tell you how the black auroras are formed and show you the science behind it. And guys, it's good knowledge to have. So they'll give you a better understanding. Basically, it's instead of the particles coming down, they're going up, so it causes certain things to happen in a specific way, and it makes the auroras black. So that's a very interesting thing in my opinion. All right, so now we got earthquakes. Guys, again, go over to Ron over to Emergency Management Associates. He's doing a good job over there. Him and Terry. Sorry, guys. They do a great job over there of trying to report everything to us in an accurate and fast way. I just think, they're good people, and that's who I would, if anybody wants to, and Ricky does too. Ricky's very knowledgeable about earthquakes. Anybody wants to drop Ron's link in there for me, they could. One of my mods, please. That would be awesome. Just to give them something to go look at here. But right now, guys, I'm looking at this, and this is all earthquakes. Now, I will say this. I'm looking at the map here on the United States. I was looking at this yesterday, and it does seem like there might be a little uptick in some smaller ones, kind of broadening out a little bit, but I'm not seeing anything big. The stuff out here in Cascadia has calmed down some. We were getting some stuff out there last week. And again, guys, I'm not the earthquake guy. I can just show you where they're at and say if I think space weather had anything to do with it. I'm not sold on it right now that space weather has much to do with this, other than our Schumann is spiking. So that is telling you we're getting something different, okay? Whatever that is. Now, again, there's some 5s here. We had one a week or so ago up here. Was really close to Fukushima. It was a 6.8, I think it came in at. That's kind of, when you see those around those kinds of areas, it really makes your butt pucker. That's for sure. Thanks, Rip. Appreciate that. But yeah. And then, of course, my boy Rip out there, he lives on the West Coast, so he knows all about this Cascadia subduction zone. That's guys, before I got into this, I didn't have any idea that was even a thing. And this is almost like common conversation out there. I figured that out between people. This is actually a conversation they've had for years out here about this. I didn't know anything about it. I live in the Eastern time zone. So I had no idea. So when I started learning about that, I was like, wow. And when this thing does slip, when it finally goes, they do project it to be catastrophic. Okay. Again, like I say, I keep going back to the song, you will find beachfront property in Arizona. That's what it will be. Nobody, even mainstream, will tell you that if that thing actually does slip, that's what will happen. Oh yeah, Marfugel too, guys. Major B, thank you for putting that in there. Marfugel's awesome. Guys, please go check him out. Him and Adam and Dex. They do a great job over there. I call into the show from time to time. And Mark's been a really good friend of mine. He's helped build my channel a little bit. A lot of it. And I can't thank him enough for that. And not to mention, he's just a good person. So that's just where I'm at. Him and Dex both. They awesome people. So I don't want to forget telling you guys about people like Marfugel, because those of us that are at a level that we're not real small or real big, sometimes we forget that we forget to mention the bigger guys. Because we're trying to help the ones that are below us as far as, trying to build their channel. And I don't want to do that anymore. I feel bad that I even got that way. So please go give Marfugel a like and a share and a look. If you guys have never been over there, most of you probably have. I get it. But for those that haven't given Marfugel a chance, please go over there and check him out. And so yeah. So let's let me go here. And again, guys, let me do this real quick. Sorry. Oh, goodness. Oh, wow. Mark's already off? Okay. I was going to tell everybody to go over and check him out. Must have had something going on. Anyway, guys, go check him out. He he made my intro music, and I know you guys didn't get to hear it today. Something was messed up with my OBS. So yeah. Thanks, B. White Wolf. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Rip. Appreciate you. Hey, Grandma. What's up, JJ? Did you get your thing? I never got an email from you. Let me know in there. If not, I need to check on that because there was some funny stuff when I mailed it. So if you didn't get it, please let me know. So you guys got any? But go over here and check out Mark, guys. I'm gonna just do this real quick. Paste. That is Mark's link to that live stream. Guys, please go check him out. It'll be good for you. You'll laugh, all that. Yes. Also, thank you, Rip. So I'm not sure what's going on with Mark here. He's usually on longer than that, guys. Typically, his shows are 2 hours or a little bit longer. Obviously, he's got a life and a real estate business he has to take care of and a family. So just know that that's probably why something's going on. I need to find out because that gets me kind of worried. So I'm sure a couple of you guys probably came over here after his show ended. Anybody? Okay. Anyway, I'll figure that out later. But yeah, you're right. You're right, AG. It's, you become aware of certain things, and we just start looking, and we try to get it right. We don't want to over exaggerate, but we don't want to downplay things either. That's right, Rip. Thank you, buddy. Of course you can, knowledge. Yes. I give that a anybody that's a mod. If anybody's listening to me right now, anybody that's a mod here can drop any link that they want. I trust you guys. Okay. Obviously, you can drop your link too, because I wouldn't have you a mod if I didn't trust you to do the right thing there. Obviously, we don't want to spam it 5,000 times. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, yes, of course you can do that. So, yeah. Well, thanks, lady. I appreciate that, Jan. I really do. PC, what's up? Sid, my brother, what's happening? Good to see you. So, yeah, guys, we'll just keep an eye out. But, guys, seriously, for like quick updates throughout the day, go check me out on TikTok. I'm going to be posting there. What's up, Major B? And, I'm going to be doing that, every day. I didn't realize it was that easy, or I'd have been doing it from the beginning. Hey, what's up, AQS, my sister from another mister? What's happening? So, yeah, guys, we will definitely keep you updated. And again, I think the best way to keep throughout the day, because I'm not going to do a video in the middle of the day, I will post a small little one minute clip on TikTok. Okay. Now I'm still, like I said, I'll still do my stuff in the evenings when we do. So yeah, chicken, pork, beef. Hey, what's up, Eric? Corn shortages all announced this week. Oh, I'm always prepared, man. Me and my wife, we're good. He makes a good point though, guys. We need to be, Rip's in here, guys. He will definitely show you how to do that the right way. Rip Curl, guys, he knows how to prep. He is oh my gosh, I can't tell you enough. Go check him out. And one thing I want to say about Rip, real quick. He's not going to waste your time. So, just know that. When you go over there, he's going to talk about what needs to be talked about. Yeah, we got to get our foods on for sure, man. Shoot. y'all see my booty, you would know that I ain't short on no food. And I ain't going to be. Shoot, when I get my whole family in the car, we got to stop at the weigh station when we go by. Anyway, sorry, that might be a little much, but oh goodness. But yeah, guys, I mean, seriously, on a serious note, Eric makes a really good point there. Guys, we have to prepare. Even if, guys, I mean, even if. What if you have like in Texas this year with all the big ice storms? You know? I mean, can you imagine how much easier if they were prepared? And I'm sure a lot of them were. So, I mean, this is what I'm saying. I mean, you have to stay prepared some. That's just my opinion. And people ask me a lot, and I'm sure Rip has chimed in on all this before. You know, everybody's level of preparedness, where they're comfortable, is different. So go to where you're comfortable. This is what I tell people. Go to where you're comfortable and then go one step further. Because what that will do is definitely just like make sure you're okay. And you can lay down, you can go to sleep at night knowing that you and your family's going to be okay. Yeah, the corn, yeah, for sure, man. We've had a lot of different die-offs and stuff. I mean, it's just people, you know, not only did we lose corn, guys, when that happens, when we have like crops that go bad, it affects our cattle. It affects our pork. It affects our chickens, all that kind of stuff. It's a trickle-down effect. Eventually, okay, let me give you an example here, something real quick, too. I want to give you guys a heads up on this anyway. If you're looking like, me and my wife just bought our first car, okay, newer car. And we went out there, and I got a good friend that works at a local car lot here. And he was, obviously, I'm not going to get a bunch of BS from him, right? I mean, he was telling me the truth because, I mean, I've been friends with him for 30 years. I mean, my gosh, we went to school together, all that. I trust him, is what I'm trying to say. On April 30th, when it switched from April 30th to May 1st, all the leasing deals, all of the car prices, they're stuck. They're not going to go down. And let me tell you why. There was a plant that supplied all the microchips. And we're not just talking about one make or model of car, guys. We're talking across the board. It burnt down. Okay. Plus, the secondary plant that they had was making them was in Texas and was involved in the ice storm. So if you guys go try to buy a car right now, especially a newer vehicle, they're not going to come down on any of the prices at all, period. My friend was telling me here that they're not going to come down sticker at all. Whatever it says on the sticker, you might get $500 or something, maybe get a trade-in value or something. But just keep that in mind. It's not only is it affecting it, all this stuff affects everything. And that's kind of what I'm saying. So please get yourself prepared. Be aware of all that kind of stuff. And, just check out everything. Everybody's channel. Check out everybody's channel. Just go through my subscription list. I mean, honestly. And pick out what you guys think. I'm being serious here. Don't just look at mine. Don't just look at people you think I like or don't like or whatever. Go look at everybody. And then look and judge for yourself. Trust yourself. Don't listen to a daggone word I'm saying that you can't go back and look at what I showed you and say, hey, yeah, I'm seeing the same thing. So I'm not going to just show you something and give you my opinion unless I'm going to tell you it's my opinion. If I say, hey, the Schumann spiked, I'm going to show you this. I'm not going to say, hey, the Schumann spiked and show you that. You see what I'm getting at? That's what I'm trying to say. So I really want you guys to really do that. And what you're going to find the people that have eyes and ears to hear what you're talking about are going to be there. Okay? People that are going to believe and think the same way, they're going to go to the same directions. And that's probably why we're all here. Just so you know. It's just my opinion. Okay? I'm being honest here, guys. I mean, you guys just go through, like, I don't hide my subscription list. It's there. Everybody go look. And I guarantee you, you're going to find, and I'll say this in strategic ways as I scroll up, maybe people that, like, you got Verte here that I want you guys to go look at for Schumann, because he studied it for 30 years. He knows what he's looking at when he looks at those tools. All right? So you can go look at anybody you want. Unirock here. Unirock 2. He's what he does? He's a commentating channel. He's just, yeah. He commentates on, like, mainstream stuff, or not mainstream stuff, but like newsworthy stuff. It's basically, I guess you could call it a drama channel. I don't know, but he just commentates, reports on certain stuff. It's a release for me that I can watch something and I don't have to think about anything, that kind of thing. I think he's funny. I have a good time over there. And again, guys, you can go through here, and I guarantee you're going to find some people you think that don't like me. Remember what I said here. What am I doing? And, you can go on down through here, and you can find people that do. All right? So, what I'm saying, and Tipster here, guys, he does a really good show, too, as far as commentating on certain, like, I don't know. Some of these guys, they report on, like, I don't want to call it SJW stuff or anything like that, but it's more of a internet drama stuff. I just find it entertaining. That's all. Oh, check out this guy here, guys. Banky Pound. I am going to point him out. That guy was in jail for over 30 years and got out, and he's doing this YouTube channel. It is so entertaining. You guys need to go over and check him out and tell him Wages sent you. Wages World sent you. This guy, man, he cracks me up. He's down to earth. You know what he does? He cooks prison meals. He gets like ramen noodles and shows you how they make pizza in prison and stuff and all that kind of stuff. And then he's got really, really, really good stories about what happened to him and how he got out and all that kind of thing. It's just a really cool channel. Go check him out. Banky Pound. You won't be sorry. He's also a boxer. So, I mean, yeah. So, yeah. So there's a few of the channels, and I try to mention people that you guys don't already know. That's why. Most everybody knows everybody else here. I mean, come on. Let's just be real about it. It's just what it is. And again, guys, I'm not going to sit here and say I like everybody or love everybody. I love everybody at a certain level, but I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, that's just not what I do. I promise you guys no drama from the beginning of this channel, and I intend to keep that promise. And I think I've done that pretty successfully. So, and that's exactly what I would say. We just try to, we put our information out there. I welcome anybody and everybody to put whatever ideas, theories, whatever you've got in this chat. As long as it's not attacking somebody. That's really the only thing. I really like the discourse. I really do, because it pushes us to look at different stuff. And I really hope that you guys understand that. And I know this live stream's kind of went on a little long today, but I haven't been with you guys for a minute, and I got some time. My wife went to bed early, my daughter's in bed, so that's why I'm here. But just know, guys, for data updates throughout the day, like tomorrow, I'll probably post a couple times to give you updates on that big eruption that just happened. Let me show you guys that again real quick before we get off of here. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to update that and see if we got anything else going on here. But that was, guys, that was a really substantial eruption right here. Let me get you here. So, here we go. Right about bam. Look at that. I mean, that's a lot of plasma, guys. I know it's not like when you compare it to the sun size, it doesn't look all that big. But you got to understand, you're probably fitting in this little area here at least 5 or 6 Earth sizes. So that's how much plasma is leaving the sun right there. It's just amazing. But it is what it is. So I'm not seeing much anything else there yet, guys. So I don't see any other eruptions or anything. So I don't know. I think we may, on the outside chance, catch a glancing blow from this, just because it's behind the limb. It may, the way it whipped out like it did, it could have made it around the limb a little bit and come our direction. But it's not nowhere near going to be a direct hit. Just let me say that first and foremost, okay? Just so you know. I don't want anybody freaking out over that, because there's no reason to. All right? So, anyway, guys. I think I am going to go ahead and cut it there. I hope you guys have a great night. Great rest of your week. I'm actually going to be going to Tennessee this weekend. We got the new vehicle and stuff, and my wife hasn't seen her parents in been a year and a half. It's been a while. She misses her mom bad. So we're going to take a ride down to Tennessee to see them. And, our vehicle before wasn't really roadworthy enough to go that far. So that's kind of why we didn't make it down there. But, they weren't able to come up here because of I'm not even going to say it. You guys know what I'm talking about. The reason we wear masks, and trying to explain things in such a way to somebody that's over 70 years old. They don't typically want to hear anything but what they want to hear. So that's kind of why that all happened. But without going into a big story. I love all you guys. I really hope you guys got something from this video. Please follow me on TikTok. It's going to be the best way to get quick updates. And it doesn't take a whole lot of time from me. And I'm glad I found that, because I wouldn't have found it if it wasn't for my daughter. And check out my daughter's channel too, please, guys. Let me show you guys her again real quick. You guys are doing me a favor if you go over here and check her out and just give her a follow. Watch a 1-minute video here. I mean, she's got the one video. It's got 110,000 views on it. That's more than I've ever had on anything. And she did that in a week. It's kind of crazy. It's like, whatever. Good job. Wow. So, anyway. I am going to go ahead and cut off here, guys. God bless. Yahusha saves, and